artistic horror movie Nosferatu from 2024. Up next on Quick Quest Deep Dive.
2024, director Robert Eggers, the visionary behind The Witch and The Northman, finally realized the passion project 20 years in the making, a faithful, terrifying reimagining of F.W. Muranu's 1922 silent classic. Bill Skarsgård disappears under prosthetics as Count Orlok the Vampire. Nicholas Hoult stars as Thomas Hutter, the real estate agent who unknowingly delivers his wife to evil. Lily Rose Depp co-stars as Ellen Hutter, the haunted bride. The supporting cast includes Willem Dafoe as Professor Album Erbhart von Franz, Aaron Taylor Johnson as Friedrich Harding, Emma Corrin as Anna Harding, and Simon McBurney as Herr Knock. Eggers shot in Prague's Baranov studio and authentic Transylvania locations, castles, forests, and cobblestone streets that feel untouched by time. His obsession with historical accuracy extended to details you'll never notice, period-correct fabrics, candlelit interiors, and dialogue pulled from 19th century letters. When it opened December 25, 2024, Nosferatu stunned with a 40 million worldwide debut, eventually grossing 327 million, becoming the highest grossing horror film of the year and Eggers' biggest commercial success. At the Oscars, it earned nominations for Best Cinematography, Best Production Design, Best Makeup and Hairstyling, and Best Costume Design, a sweep of craft categories celebrating its meticulous, practical artistry. Critics called it a gothic horror for the ages, and audiences couldn't look away. This is the story of the vampire that would not die, Nosferatu.
Bill Skarsgård's Orlok took 6 hours of makeup, and he almost died. Skarsgård's transformation into Count Orlok required up to 6 hours in the makeup chair each day. Prosthetics designer Tracy Lauder built a full head cast, including a rotting, gaunt face with elongated fingers and a massive mustache, paying homage to Max Schreck's original look. But the real horror? The prosthetics were so restrictive that Skarsgård could barely breathe. During one 15-hour shoot in a cold Transylvanian castle, he began to suffer from hypothermia. His body couldn't regulate temperature through the thick latex. Crew members had to wrap him in a heating blanket between takes. He later joked, "I'm pretty sure Orlok killed me a little bit."
Lily Rose Depp's demonic possession was choreographed by a dance expert. Depp's terrifying contortions and seizures during Ellen's possession scenes are not CGI. Eggers hired renowned movement coach Marie Gabrielle Roddy, known for experimental theater, to choreograph every spasm, arc, and whisper. Depp trained for 2 months to contort her body in ways that look inhuman, dislocating her shoulder joints voluntarily, holding breath until her face turned blue, and even making her eyes roll back on command. The result is so disturbing that test audiences thought it was digital manipulation. It's not.
Production secrets. The 20-year obsession. Robert Eggers first saw Murnau's 1922 Nosferatu when he was 14 years old. He wrote the first draft of his remake in 2015, right after finishing The Witch, but studios kept rejecting it, calling it too art house. Focus Feature finally greenlit in 2022, and Eggers reportedly wept when he got the call.
The silent film homage. Eggers shot 1 minute of the film entirely in silent film style, black and white, no dialogue, with title cards. It appears as a dream sequence. He also used the exact same intertitle font as the 1922 original.
The shadow work. Orlok's shadow is never seen in the same room as Skarsgård. That's because the shadow was performed by a separate actor and contortionist named Tomasz David. Wearing a stretched, distorted costume, Eggers filmed the shadow on a different set with different lighting, then composited them together. This gave the shadow an unnatural, disjointed movement that feels otherworldly.
The period accuracy. Costume designer Lyndon Muir, Eggers' longtime collaborator, spent 18 months hand-stitching every costume using 19th century techniques. No zippers, no synthetic fabrics, no machine stitching. The wool for the cloaks was sourced from a Romanian village that still shears sheep by hand.
The historical dialogue. Much of the script's dialogue was pulled from actual letters and diaries from the 1830s. Eggers hired a historian to translate German and Romanian documents, and some lines are verbatim from Plague-era correspondence.
The rat infestation was real, and Eggers wanted more. To capture plague-ridden atmosphere of 1838 Wisborg, based on the German city of Wismar, Eggers imported over 5,000 live rats to the Prague set. They were handled by a specialized animal trainer and released in controlled bursts, but Eggers kept demanding more rats. The animal wrangler finally refused, saying any more would be unsafe. Lily Rose Depp, who had to lie on a bed swarming with rats, later admitted she broke down crying after the 7th take.
This week on Happy Serendipity podcast, I will be talking about perimenopause, unhinged but curated series part 3, Eye of the Perimenopause Cyclone, Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Castbox.
Casting secrets. Bill Skarsgård's voice was almost unusable. Skarsgård created a deep guttural voice for Orlok by inhaling sulfur hexafluoride, a gas that lowers vocal pitch. The effect worked too well. His voice was so distorted the production had to ADR, re-record, half of his dialogue because the on-set microphones couldn't pick it up clearly.
Lily Rose Depp convinced Eggers on her first Zoom. Depp was the first actress to audition for Ellen. Eggers had been considering dozens of actors, but after a single Zoom call, he told the casting director, "We found her." She spent the next 3 months reading 19th century ghost stories and studying accounts of demonic possession.
Nicholas Hoult's real fear. Hoult, who plays Thomas Hutter, is intensely claustrophobic. The scene where Hutter is trapped in Orlok's castle for weeks with rats, shadows, and no escape was filmed in a practical sealed dungeon set. Hoult had a panic attack on day 1. Eggers, sympathetic, allowed him to have an off-camera door wedged open between takes.
So generous. Aaron Tyler Johnson and Emma Corrin's chemistry. Tyler Johnson and Corrin, who played the married couple Friedrich and Anna Harding, were cast because Eggers saw them actually flirting at the London coffee shop. He approached them together and offered the roles on the spot. Neither had auditioned.
Easter eggs and visual secrets. The crushed shadow. Throughout the film, Orlok's shadow never passes over a crucifix, a subtle nod to vampire lore that most viewers miss.
The 1922 original cameo. In one shot of a cinema marquee, the poster behind it saw for the original Nosferatu 1922. It's on screen for exactly 3 seconds.
The Carpathian Wolf. The wolf that attacks Hutter's carriage is a real Carpathian wolf, a rare breed, not CGI. Animal trainers had to sign waivers saying they keep the actors safe.
The plague mask. The doctor's plague mask, beaked, is historically accurate. The beak was filled with lavender and herbs to purify the air. The prop department actually filled it with dried lavender, and the actor wearing it could smell it through the performance.
Wow.
I hate lavender.
Ellen's hair. Depp's braided hair in the final scene is styled in a pattern that mirrors a hangman's noose, a deliberate foreboding detail.
The graveyard fog. The fog in the graveyard scenes was entirely practical, generated by machines that produced industrial-grade dry ice fog. It was so thick that actors sometimes lost sight of each other.
Wow, that's crazy. All right, now it's time for one of our staples. It's time to take it to the woodshed or praise its genius and roast it or toast it.
I thought it was an oven, not a woodshed.
It's a woodshed. It's the same.
Woodshed?
Yeah. So,
Okay,
are you going to...
Okay, I know it's a good movie, but it's a horror, so I'm roasting. I'm roasting it.
Dear Lord.
Too. Because horror. I hate horrors. Horrors shake me, and he does it on purpose for that.
He does it on purpose, right? So here's the deal, Bubba. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to toast it, and I'm going to give it 5 giant stars because this movie is incredible. It is an homage to old school horror, and it's done in such a way that Robert Eggers has delivered in such a fashion that it's amazing how different it is compared to the junk that's in Hollywood right now.
Come on, rats.
I love rats.
On people.
Good.
Rats.
I love it. Hold on. There's more.
The success. Nosferatu 2024 became Robert Eggers' highest grossing film, more than doubling The Northman, $69 million, and The Witch, $40 million, combined. For a black and white, slow burn, 132-minute, gothic horror film with no jump scares in the 19th century setting, this box office success stunned analysts. It proved that audiences still crave patient, artistic horror when executed with uncompromising vision.
And here's the real kicker. Eggers has already confirmed that his next film is a medieval werewolf movie set in the same folk horror universe. Principal filming has begun. Early pictures look incredible. Werewolf, spelled W-E-R-W-U-L-F, is based on an old spelling of it and is set for a December 25th, 2026 release. The cast is Aaron Taylor Johnson as the werewolf central figure, Lily Rose Depp, Willem Dafoe, Ralph Ineson, and others. Many are reuniting from Nosferatu. After Nosferatu, the anticipation is deafening. And next week on Quip Quest Deep Dive, we will take a walk to Notting Hill. That will
made him watch it already.
That will try me to no end.
I know.
Though not as much as Don't Look Up did that shitstorm. Either way, expect fireworks. And in 2 weeks' time, I'm debating to do a Mission Impossible movie or something like Swamp Thing from 1982. No Roger Corman flicks yet. No. Keyword, yet. Yet.
Let me watch it.
Yet.
Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one.
And until next week, when it becomes Notting Hill torture, watch and see what happens. Adios, amigo.